Hey, Court.
Hey, Bart.
How's it going?
Good. Welcome to the Dog Ranch TV podcast.
Thank you.
So for those of you who don't know us, welcome to Dog Boys Dog Ranch. This is the Dog Ranch TV podcast, and we are the owners, Bart and Courtney Emkin, with Dog Boys Dog Ranch. We have been caring for, loving, and training dogs for 25 years now, and we're in the heart of Central Texas, and we couldn't be happier doing our job.
Yep.
So today we have two very special guests with us. We have Tammy Montgomery and Karen Reed from the Flying Disc Dogs of Austin. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Tammy, why don't you go ahead and start and just let us know kind of how long you guys have been doing this, how you got into it, and just anything else you want to share with us.
What you love about it.
What you love about it.
Well, we got started, I guess it's been about 6 years ago, Karen and I now. And I got a pup and started playing a little ball with my pup, and my pup was catching anything and everything. And my husband said, why don't you throw a Frisbee to her? I threw a Frisbee to her. She caught the first one we ever threw. And from then on, it was love at first sight. So, and we
wouldn't let go of that.
Love at first catch.
Love at first catch. There you go. And Karen and I have been friends for that long, and we decided that we wanted to start up our own club. And that's kind of what we did. We put the pedal down and got it going. So
yeah, it has really been amazing.
We see you guys out there.
We love Dog Boys too. We love being able to get out there and love y'all's place.
Oh, thank you. Karen, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about you too.
Well, I'm Karen Reed, and as Tammy said, I'm one of the co-founders, and we are thrilled to pieces, Bart and Courtney, that you have invited us to your podcast. It's pretty cool. But even more importantly, we love Dog Boys, and Dog Boys has been so supportive of us just from the very beginning. I was the first president for the first couple of years to kind of get things started and set the foundation, and Tammy might as well have been first president as well, because she was with me through the whole thing. And then we did some role changing. Now Tammy's president, and she has just taken this club to a whole nother level. So we love disc, we love dogs. And
that's a t-shirt right there.
That's so true. That would make a really good t-shirt.
Or love at first catch. I like that one too.
I like
now,
that.
other than looking out my kitchen window and seeing you guys practice all the time in our agility field, I am not what you would call a disc savvy person. So help me understand kind of the lingo that goes around flying disc dogs. Like, how do you talk about it? How do you refer to it? What are the words that, just Sally, who doesn't know anything about it, what kinds of things would you tell that person?
I think a lot of people just see it on TV and they're like, that looks cool, but they don't know where to go from there.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times when I talk to people, I say Frisbee dogs because a lot of people don't know what disc is. So I'll just say we've got Frisbee dogs that play. And then once you get into the sport, people call them disc dogs. And that's part of the lingo. And Karen, you got other things you want to intervene with here?
I think the only other lingo is really when you get into understanding what the difference is between toss and fetch games versus freestyle. So people always say, well, what's freestyle? And freestyle is kind of where you do the dance, usually with music, where your dog's doing all these really cool tricks with a Frisbee, jumping off of you, and then doing spins, flips, things like that. And so we pretty much throw around the words freestyle and toss and catch all the time. The new people have no idea what we're talking about. So that's kind of one of the little bits of lingo that we teach people.
Well, that freestyle is probably my favorite part.
Is the toss and catch like where they're going for distance?
They usually go for 60 seconds. That's a usual competition. And they'll usually it's about 50 yards. And so you try to hit that 50-yard mark in there, and then you go for points, basically how far you throw. And if the dog catches it and brings it back, and it's a timed event, so it's 60 seconds long.
Are there like style points, or like what are they scoring besides distance and catching? And
they do give some venues will give you if your dog leaps in the air and catches it, they'll give you credit for that. But some have taken that out due to they felt like it might be a little bit more unsafe to try to get your dogs to do that. So.
Yeah, I was just curious, like for someone like me that doesn't know even how to throw a Frisbee, do you ever have people that come out and try and you're just like, yeah, maybe this isn't for you? Or do you think like anyone could learn it?
Karen, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Yeah. Honestly, so if your dog has some drive, he's probably going to be pretty easy to learn the game. Just about any dog can play Frisbee. As to what level they want to play at, how intense they are. Some dogs, it's just there for just pure fun. Some dogs really want to do it more kind of as a prey drive competition type of thing. Yeah. And so, but really, you could show just about any dog how to play Frisbee if they want to.
Awesome.
We have just to elaborate a little bit more on that. There's most of the dogs that you will see that play disc are the herding breeds. So like border collies and heelers and Aussies, some Malinois. Those are the main kind of breeds. But really and truly, we have seen pretty much every breed. Like Karen was saying, we've got even a poodle in our group now. That's really good
on your Instagram.
Yes. And we also have a little Dutch. So we've got all kinds of pups that if they have the drive, they can play. So and we can help them. Right.
Mix-it are the highest jumping Frisbee dogs I've ever seen in my life.
What are?
Pit mixes or pits.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Well, they're all muscle.
Crazy good.
Yeah. So that's good. So they don't necessarily need any kind of prerequisite training. They can just come out and watch you guys and you'll give them a chance to just try.
Yes, as long as they're pretty much like a year old, we definitely would like them to try. We wait till they're about a year just because it's safer that way. If they're under a year, their growth plates aren't closed up yet. And sometimes even dogs that are over a year. I know you know this, but some people that want to come out and play, they might not know this yet. And also another safety concern is their weight. Sometimes we definitely try to keep dogs thin. We feed them super good food, higher protein food, and we give them joint supplements sometimes to keep them healthy.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because I guess you really don't want to be, feel responsible for somebody like tearing an ACL or I know in dogs it's called a CCL, not an ACL, but you know what I mean.
It'd be like me trying to do ballet or something. Like we're just not.
Like this year we started a workout. I have to just tell you this story. So this year we started a new workout, which everybody does in January. They're like, I gotta lose weight. It's January, and so we started this new workout, and it was a bar workout. And I was like, it's like a ballet. Bar. Yeah, it's like a ballet, jazz, yoga. Bar, right? Yeah, and not this kind of bar, although that would be a good workout for me too. But I was like, well, I've been a dancer. I can do this. Like I was a dancer in high school. I was a cheerleader in middle school. Like this is a no-brainer for me. And I love to dance. So I was like, I'm in.
And she did P90X with me. So I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
We challenge each other to do things that we normally would not do. Anyway, day 2, I pulled my Achilles tendon. And it is the end of June and it still hurts. Yeah. And so I did go through the workout, but there are some people, and probably in your case, some dogs that maybe aren't, need to do some things prior to giving it a shot.
So just to segue on that, you said you're worried about weight and age. Is there an age that's too old? I'm not calling you old.
Thanks. Nice.
But is there that. Did dogs retire from it at a certain age, or do you look at dogs that come out and you're like, maybe we don't want to jump that high or go that far?
I look at my own, I basically, there's not an age. Basically people kind of know their dogs in the sport, and they for example, my Penny will be 8 on July 4th. And I've kind of retired her from competing in freestyle, not in toss and catch, but freestyle's pretty strenuous on bones and ligaments and things. So I pretty much retired her from freestyle, except for demos and stuff where I can set her up safely and things like that. So I think it just depends. What do you think, Karen?
Yeah, I think that first of all, there's there's not an age limit. But like she said, you know your dog, and what you do is if you have a dog that's a little older, like once they get to be around 6 or 7-ish, if you have one that's brand new to disc and they're going to be around 6 or 7, you're really going to want to focus more on the toss and catch, because that's easier on the ligaments, easier on the joints. And also there are also some competitions that are really, really super newcomer friendly, puppy friendly, old dog friendly, where it's not quite as intense as far as what they're doing and the way they're running around. And so old dogs could definitely play. I would tend to do probably more a little bit easier throws for the old dogs, definitely not any high catches.
Yeah.
And puppies can play, like puppies can join FDDA, for example. But we are very, very careful in educating the owners on this is what you can do at this age. We don't want your puppy jumping. He can crawl over your legs, and start kind of learning some of that you're teaching him literally just baby basic puppy skills. Yeah. And then it's really the same with your old dogs as well.
Yeah. I love that any age dog can do it. And I would bet there's probably some benefits to the dogs too, to be able to participate in a sport like this. Like, what would you say you've seen in your own dogs as far as their benefit to their overall personality, health, just you name it?
Well, these dogs need a job. And border collies need a job, as you guys know, heelers, Aussies, all these breeds, they definitely need a job. So for my pups and for others, basically it gets them out. This is their job. They, normally herding cows or herding sheep, they herd discs. Yeah. That's what they do. And they literally believe this is their job, and they're happy when they're doing it, and they're in shape, and they love it. And I love it.
Is it strenuous for you guys as handlers?
It can be. I try myself. I try to keep myself in shape. I walk every day because if I can't do things, then I'm not going to be able to do it for my pup. So I try to keep myself in some kind of physical shape too.
Yeah. And you guys, Karen, y'all have to wear like special equipment too. You have to like wear, it's almost like a bulletproof vest, but it's like a padded something that you put on, right?
Yeah. If we're doing freestyle and we have our dogs jumping off of us, it's a good idea to have a little extra padding there. So we'll wear kind of I call it more the human safe vest more than a dog safe vest. We'll wear a vest so that if our dog is jumping off our back, we don't come back with tiger marks on our back.
Yeah, you can hear it like at the house. Like if we have the windows open, you can hear like that. Like where they're launching off of you.
They're bouncing off of us, and I usually wear a leg wrap of some sort, depending on what. If I have shorts on versus jeans or something.
To protect your legs.
Your skin just a little bit easier. And, because some of the dogs, they really push off pretty hard. And I wanted to kind of chime in real quick. I've kind of got the rescue side of the story on the benefits.
Sure.
About the benefits. And one of the things that I found that was so key for us is my dog Star is a rescue.
I love Star.
But Star is a rescue, and he was in foster for 9 months. 9 months is a long time to be in foster, and that's because he just had too much energy. People, all kinds of people wanted to meet him because he was really pretty, but he was so psychotic and just so energetic that they just go, nah, he's too much for us. Yeah. But Frisbee, he met a Frisbee one time. Somebody went and tested him out, and it was like he was just born to do that. He was a natural, and we adopted him, and it literally saved his life because nobody knew what to do with him to take care of that kind of energy that he had. And so disc was a great channel for that kind of energy. So he ended up being able to do disc, getting all that energy out and being, less destructive at home, it's all the things that people don't always know when they're getting these kind of breeds, what they're really getting.
Right.
But dogs really need that kind of exercise and activity and like Tammy said, a job.
Saved
his life.
Over the years, I can't tell you how many times I've told people with herding breeds, they're saying what you just said. And I'm like, well, it's really easy to solve your problem. You just have to get 80 sheep. And I never really, I know that the herding breeds are really good at disc, but I never really thought that that's a good substitute for them, but it really
Oh, it
is.
is.
Like that's really a good idea.
Mhm.
They're probably much better behaved at home too because they're just so tired.
Yes, they are. They are. But you
Well, and
do
it's
have
a
to work them
thinking
daily.
thing.
Yeah, it's a daily
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It's not just physical too. It's a mental
Mental. Yeah.
stimulus.
That's
Makes
right.
them have to think because
Yeah,
they
you
have,
find
Have to
dogs
think
grand.
and use their brain.
Don't you love dogs?
I
they have to use
do.
their brain to
do.
figure out where the next disc is going to go
That's
and
right.
how should what does my mom want me to do? And
Yeah.
so they really have to do a lot of thinking and strategic moves on their own part. It's not just a human; it's true teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know in certain
Cool.
circles, and I don't know about disc dogging, but you probably run into a host of characters and unique dogs. Can you tell us any funny stories about any of your players, human or canine?
Any fun stuff that happened?
I'm trying to
Or
think.
can you share? Maybe you can't
Yeah.
share.
Well, we do have Leroy's not in our club, but he's a good friend of ours, and he's been in the sport for many years. And he rescues pit bulls or pit mixes. He's got some. That's what Karen was talking about earlier. Some fantastic dogs. And before he was in the sport, he was a rodeo clown, and that's what he did.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a pretty cool story. And now he's the big guy for saving all these animals, and his dogs are fantastic at disc, dog guiding. I can't remember the name of the sport, Karen, you might can, that they jump, grab something and he kind of pulls them up with a rope and they go high. I can't remember the name
Oh
of that
my
sport, but
gosh.
it's really
Do
cool.
you know?
It's just extreme something.
I don't know.
Jumping,
Extreme
yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
That's a sport.
He
That's a
jumps
sport
up
I don't
to the
know.
wall, basically.
Yes.
A really tall wall.
Tall wall.
Wow.
It's really cool.
What a great segue from rodeo clown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the perfect retirement activity for a
Yes.
rodeo
What do you
clown, I
do?
would imagine.
What did you do? Well, I was a rodeo clown.
I can't beat that story.
Does he ever want to jump in the barrels that we have out there? Does he see those? And he's like,
He does that too.
Doug,
Actually.
he does. I've seen him in his shows.
His dogs will walk around on those barrels.
Right.
yeah.
Or balls.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Lots
That's
of cool stuff.
awesome. That's awesome.
It's a whole different crowd with the disc world in a way. We're kind of called the rebels of the dog sport world.
Fancy.
What's that?
We have a whole conglomerate, just different personalities involved in dog sport, involved in the disc dog world. But the best part that I've liked about it so far is that I found really that everybody is very, very welcoming. It really doesn't matter what kind of walk of life, or if your dog is AKC, purebred, or a mix, or a mutt. It doesn't matter what you do. In fact, we don't really care what you do for a living. And I don't care if you're a very famous person or not. Just bring your dog and come and have fun. I mean, they're just very welcoming, good camaraderie in this kind of sport. We just love it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Good for introverts and extroverts.
Yeah, and you could be as
I'm
introverted
horribly introverted.
as you want to be.
You're not alone, Bart.
Somebody
I
did-
know.
I was dancing on the side of the field a couple weeks ago at a competition. He said, "Oh, I saw Karen dancing on the side of the field." I was like, "Yeah, I was."
I was.
You're like, dancing. I like dancing. Yes,
That was me.
I think I might do that. So, so now that COVID has hit, I imagine that's really changed y'all's ability to just meet in groups every month and get together. So, how are you adapting to the pandemic as a group?
Well, we did play, it was called the Up Dog, which is Karen talked about earlier. There's some venues that are super friendly for beginners, and Up Dog is one of those. And
What's up, dog?
That's exactly where they got that from. What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
That's why
I
they
know.
called it Up Dog.
I didn't know that.
That
That's
is-
funny.
And they're super, anybody can play Up Dog. Puppies, old pups. They've included in Up Dog what we call a roller. So you can roll it on the ground and the dog can pick it up off the ground. So that's awesome for old pups and for puppies. But
Awesome.
Isn't that a test for dogs? Like when you guys are first getting,
Yes.
like we're starting to introduce a dog to the sport, like you roll.
we do.
disc?
We roll them so that basically a lot of dogs will here. They will pop a disc up like this to try to catch it. And they don't know about the sides. They don't understand how to clamp onto the sides. So we'll start with rollers so that they can figure that out on the ground and how to catch a disc on the sides. So that's kind of
Oh,
why we
cool.
start them off. Yeah. And once they start
Okay,
catching,
sorry.
yeah. So Updog is, they had a thing called the Updog Bike Club video games. So basically they came up with this huge idea, and we had to film ourselves playing these different games. So you stayed at home, but we all got to play, and it was for 7 weeks, and it was great because people got to still play, and people had been missing that. And so they still got to play with their dog, even though they could do it outside or whatever on their own. It was still a little bit, they were missing the camaraderie of hanging out with their friends. So everybody played the games, and we filmed them and put them on Facebook, and people got to see them and cheer them on Facebook. So it was really cool.
Oh,
That's neat.
still finding a way to get together.
We are just ready to start doing meetups again, or we are kind of putting back into gear, depending on what rules come forth right now. But
Right.
I think everybody's really doing a good job at kind of maintaining a good distance from each other. And of course, when you're practicing or training, there is only one dog and they're human on the field. And then there might be one of us, whoever's kind of leading that meetup, like Tammy or myself, Brian or Stacy, and we're there, but we're kind of away. And there's you don't have to be close to somebody to teach them disc. You just kind of show them what to do and guide them and help them. And so I think everybody's been doing really good, being very open to that idea.
That's good, because I would think in theory you could all stay in your cars and there could be one person like wiping down the gate or opening and shutting the gate, with a mask on or something, and letting people go in and out, one handler and dog at a time. And that sounds totally doable.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, you're still welcome to come if you want to meet here.
Oh, yes, we do.
We're coming
Anytime.
to come near you in your backyard.
Yeah. And then I'll be like doing my dishes like, oh, good, they're back. I see them. Every time I see you guys, I want to come out and say hello.
We want you to.
Yeah, I sure have missed seeing you in person. So it's really nice to get together, at least by Zoom, and be able to chat over the podcast.
Yeah.
So tell people how they can, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Oh, well, our next meetup is going to be at Dog Boys at July 12th, Tammy?
Yes.
Or 11th?
July 12th at 4.
July 12th
at 4 p.m. Awesome.
We will be
That's a Sunday.
Boys, have some fun and teach and that kind of stuff. So
okay, sweet. And I'm going to put your website and Facebook and all your social links and everything in the show notes, but go ahead and give us the website just so we've got it.
Yeah, it's www. It's long. FlyingDiscDogsOfAustin.webs.com.
.webs.com. Okay, got it.
Don't forget the .webs.
Yeah, don't forget the .webs. But your best bet, especially, is to get on Facebook.
Yes.
Like us on Facebook, Flying Disc Dogs of Austin, FDDA. That's where you're going to see a lot of the events posted. You'll see them on our website as well, but you'll see more of the interaction and questions on our Facebook page if you have.
I noticed your Instagram page is pretty active too. You got somebody posting on there pretty often too. So that's great.
That's me, but we do. We keep
it. Good job, Tammy.
We keep it going, and Karen pretty much keeps Facebook going alive and the website. So we try to keep it. Anything she posts, I try to. She's a picture taker. She takes a lot of pictures for us, and I try to grab her pictures and put them on Instagram too. So anybody that's not on Facebook can see us on Instagram. So
yeah, those pictures are amazing of y'all's dogs. Just like, I see one behind Karen right now. This is
one of our members took that picture at a competition.
Aw. Is that Star?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that Star in the picture?
Star.
Oh.
Did you guys have any surge in the club after you guys were on TV?
Oh, that's great.
We a little bit. We had a few people after the World event. Is that what you were talking about? Speaking of, yes.
Yeah, you guys were on TV, and I was like, Courtney!
Yeah. That was so
fun.
cool. That was the biggest thing we've ever done. That was a huge event. We weren't sure we were going to be able to handle it, but we did a great job. Karen helped tremendously, and we got it all together, and we had it out at Jones Brothers Park, and it was awesome. Yeah. Everybody talked about how beautiful it was, and they loved the event. So it went real well.
Lots of
That's
fun.
super
Oh, that's
cool.
great.
That
That's great.
whole weekend.
Well, we want to say thank you again for being on the podcast, being our inaugural
Yeah,
guests.
you're the
and
first ones.
yeah, we're just so thrilled to have you, and we'll do everything we can to help promote you to the world. So thanks for joining us today.
you.
Thank you guys. We sure do appreciate you guys.
Oh,
Thanks
sure.
All right.
We love having you.
Really.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dog Voice.